We were given Firefly's treetop hut. Firefly, though she had some business to take care of before eating, sent a very tall, muscular woman with orange glowing scars upon her entire body to watch the door. I looked to this woman. Colt didn't seem to pay her much mind as he held our daughter, who was now awake. "Hello there, little one, feeling better?" I looked to her. "She wasn't sick. She was full of your mother," I said harshly. Colt looked to me, placing Lyra back in the hammock. "You have every right to have anger with me, Snowfeather. Please understand I didn't want you to have endless worry, and if Mother thought anyone knew, she would hurt our daughter. I never had a way I could speak to you about it without her knowing." I let out a heavy breath. I know I shouldn't be angry, but I still am. Colt started changing Lyra's diaper. "I am sorry, my love. I am still, after all this time, getting used to sharing my life with you, but I am trying." I looked to him. "I know," I whispered. After changing her diaper, Colt looked to the guard with the spear. "I don't remember you in all my times here." The woman looked down to Colt. She had to be nearly taller than Abel. Her hair was practically glowing orange under it all, her hair a light strawberry blonde. "I am Ite. I came from a sister deer tribe to see the Rainbow Warrior and tell of her to the people of my tribe, but it seems it is not to be. I will be heading home tomorrow, but tonight I offered my services." Colt looked to her. "You seem to be close to Firefly. She doesn't trust easily." Ite looked to the crib. "She was there for me when I lost my little one. It is the least I can do is to protect a child she cares deeply for. I would give my life for Firefly." "I'm sorry about your little one. If Firefly trusts you, then I shall as well." Still looking to our daughter, she was firm in stance. "Thank you." Just as she finished her words, a trumpet echoed out. "The meal is prepared. Shall we go join them?" Colt looked to me, holding out his hand. I had so many feelings in me, but I took his hand. No matter the reason for anger I had, I still loved him deeply. That hadn't wavered. "Yes," I smiled slightly as he kissed my brow. We walked from the tree's top once more, the way of the deer tribe. Seemed to be one of walking from place to place. Firefly made her way to the camp. We sat down next to her as the dancing and meat were brought in. The boar meat was cooked with so many more spices than we used. It made a crust on the meat. It was good, but so many flavors. Colt dug into his, as did the others. The deer tribe seemed to have more use for fingers than forks, drinking soup from bowls with cupped hands. Firefly looked to me. "You all right, dear Vita?" I looked to her. "I'm fine, just a lot has happened." We were both looking to Colt. Firefly spoke again, the music hiding her words to others. "I was aware of all that happened. And I understand how you must feel. Being on the outside makes one lonely in more ways than one. But I don't think you can blame Colt, for he was trapped with no one he could turn to." I looked to Firefly. "He had you." Firefly smiled as she looked to me. "But he doesn't love me, does he? Vita, he could tell me so little. And everything he did tell me was covered in great fear. I could feel it." "No, of course not. But Colt afraid, that's not like him." I spoke quietly. "He wanted more than anything to tell you, Vita, but it wasn't possible. He was hurting, perhaps differently than you feel now, but still hurt and scared for his daughter, as were you. You must continue to show him you are there for him when you can be. You both have been alone in this, so you both need to find each other in forgiveness. I may be a rambling old woman, but I know a few things about fights, and no one has to be right to forgive one another." "You're right. I'll talk with him tonight." "Good. One more thing, just because he's much like a son to me, I hope you feel you can come to me if you ever have a mind of troubles." I looked to her. "The same goes for you. You saved our daughter, and I am very grateful for that, beyond any words I can find." Firefly smiled as the music became more lively, looking to me. "Give Colt a dance." "The other women here seldom see a man and will ask for his hand in a dance, married or not," she jested, looking to him as he was now looking to me as a younger woman with green marks as well walked up to him. "A dance, Colt?" Colt still looked to me, his eyes never faltering to her. I stood standing beside her, my hand outstretched to him. "Sorry, but for the entirety of the night, he is mine." Clearly, women had the strength here. Colt took my hand, standing as I led him to the center. Other women were dancing about the flames as we held to each other. He took my loose hair, putting it behind my ear. "The entirety of the night?" I smiled. Here you listen to my words, at least if you want to. Colt smirked. Yes, my stallion, do as you will to me, for this night is yours to do with me as you please, he whispered in my ear as he chuckled. I could feel his warm breath touch my face. No more words were needed between us. For now, we were us again. The night wore on. We checked on our daughter. She had been fed and changed again. Still tired, but nothing more than one would normally expect. Ite looked to Colt and I shall guard her this night. Firefly suggested you go to the old one. A fine idea. Thank you, Ite. Ite nodded as I looked to Colt. I was too tired for greeting more people. Who was this old one? Colt held to my hand, leading me on a maze of bridges. Everyone was settling for the night in their homes. Where are we going? Who are we meeting? Colt glanced to me. Trust me, you will like this. Then I'm all yours. So I followed. We came to a large tree, thicker around than 20 people could put their arms around, if not more. Ropes led from branch to branch, but there was a ladder in the middle to climb to the very top. Colt tied a rope around my waist. You go first, I will be behind you. I've climbed the old one many times. I looked up so high that I still couldn't see the very top, but I started up. Colt followed behind me. We climbed for what seemed to be an hour. I had to take a few breaks, and I was not one for heights. I clung tightly to the ladder's side, taking a breath. Tired, love? We are almost there. It will be worth it. I want you to see what I've seen. I was out of breath. I'm more worried about getting down. I could feel Colt smiling, though he said nothing, and I pushed on to the very top of the tree. The top was weaved like a giant basket, with large windows as I stood on a wooden platform very well kept. This is the tree that started it all for the deer herd, Colt said as he untied my waist. Wait, you weren't tied. I looked to him. I'm used to it, he smiled. I don't care if you're used to it. Next time you tie yourself. All right, as you wish. I looked to a window, showing the moon. It was yellow tonight and larger somehow from up here. The wind blew and the tree swayed. I held to Colt. It's all right, love. Isn't it beautiful? You can see for ages up here, beyond what many will see in a lifetime. I could see past all the lower trees, beyond them the field clearly, how they saw us coming. It is amazing up here. I rested my arms on the window's ledge. Colt held to me from behind. His warmth helped with the chill of the nights. I turned to see him unbutton his top leather jacket's button, and steam rose from the neckline like that of a train's smokestack. Are you all right? I asked as he continued to unbutton his jacket. His skin beaded in sweat. It was a climb. Usually I do it in the winter or fall, but these warmer months are harder while wearing leather. I went over to him. Why do Broncos wear leather then? He looked to me, thinking a moment. You know, I can't truly tell you. It's by no means rational in the heat, and the cold tends to touch you quickly as well. But the benefits of having an extra skin can save you if bitten by a snake or knife do come in handy. Keeps one thin, I suppose, is another thought on it. Some Broncos wear theirs sparingly, but since I was a boy, I wore one all of my time because I didn't want anyone seeing my marks left on me by my mother. So I guess I grew attached to it, or accustomed to the difficulties of it all. I put my hand to his belt buckle, undoing it, pulling the belt from its loops, putting it around his neck. Well, tonight you will not be needing it. Colt let out a sigh, but then straightened his stance. You're not too tired after the climb? I straightened up. Of course not. I'm your stallion tonight, remember? I couldn't hold back the smile. Colt looked around a moment. Well, you do know it's about time for them to do their hourly watch. I looked to him. What? Before I could say more, he swooped me up in his arms, holding to me as he walked me over to a pile of furs. Just playing, love. No one is coming. We have till morning. I let out a sigh of relief as he nudged my cheek with his nose, then kissing it softly. We are so high up, no one will hear us. We went under many firs, and it was like a warm, dark cave with a maze of body parts touching to one another's. I curled up next to Colt, holding to me. As he kissed me again. You are amazing. Perhaps you should be the leader. You beat me quite thoroughly in that battle, he whispered, now out of breath. I looked up to him, his long black hair over his face, his green eyes piercing. No thanks. I don't want the job. I, too, was tired from our escapade. I laid fully into his side, looking to him. Do you like being stallion? Colt looked to me. It was always expected of me. Father saw me as his greatest pride, and I didn't want to disappoint him. Many would have loved the chance to be born a stallion's child, but in being one as a youth, I had challenges from other foals. I had to win them all. Father made sure I knew this. So by the time the other foals were broncos, they would know they couldn't win. No matter what it took, I always won, even if they were older or bigger. I never lost a challenge, but with that responsibility, I never had the chance to make friends. I don't want that for our son. I turned to see him holding to his chest. The girls seem to like you enough to make up for friends, he smiled. In their falsities, they themselves didn't know. All the fillies want is a strong lead male. The higher up the better. That too I do not want for our son or daughter. I touched his face as he continued. You know, I would have left it all for you that night in the underground. If you would have asked anything of me, even before that, I would have left my duty for you. I smiled. And I would have left with you. But then, Harltz would still be here. Colt sighed again, putting his head to mine. We were responsible at that time, but I wonder how long must I do the right thing that is right for others? And not myself or my family's, what is the right thing for us and our children? Colt seemed to have questions in his mind. I pulled him close as I could. We can figure that out together, but you don't need to be a stallion for me to love you. I hope you know that. I do, he chuckled a moment. What is it? Colt whisked the hair from his eyes. Nothing. I was just thinking of Abel, if he challenged me and won, how free we would be unless you wanted to be his second mare, he chuckled. I looked to Colt. I think I will just keep you if Abel ever beats your butt. I patted his cheek with my hand, grabbing more for extra measure as another round of mazes commenced, followed by a deep warm sleep.